Okay. Thank you, everyone, for coming. And we can first practice some chantings that are important. This, particularly, we are gathering here is accumulating some merit. This morning, Garchen Rinpoche mentioned that the 7 branch prayers are very important. And there's sutric 7 branches of accumulating merit, and also tantric. So tantrics are much more variety than sutrics. I think usually the sutric one we can see in the king of aspiration, the first part. That's a very beautiful chanting, and but we also can practice some tantric 7 branches of accumulation prayer. And since we already have in this blue book an zircoma, a little bit long, but it's I think we better to use these and only in English.
Okay. Page 12 in the blue prayer book. the 7 branches of the mantra that are called Serkama. I gaze upon the supreme self-arisen Lama seated on the immeasurable, spontaneously established throne here in the mandala of primordially pure mind, as it is in the supreme palace of all victorious ones of the 3 times. I gaze upon the supreme Lama who is meaningful to behold. The instant I behold that great bliss of Dharmadhatu, I cross the vast ocean of samsara and arrive at the blissful pure ground. With the eye of wisdom I gaze unwaveringly upon the Lama, the victorious hero in the battle. Just by remembering that refuge, all afflicting emotions, thoughts, and the hordes of Maras are defeated. In your body, the victorious ones of the 3 times of all the 10 directions appeared together with their offspring. With joy I gaze upon your body, adorned with all the major and minor marks, seated on a throne of fearlessness, lotus, sun, and moon. 3 kayas, nature of the mind, Vajradhara, you are inseparable from great bliss. Bowing down to you with immeasurable bodies like cloud banks, yearning with a full voice, I prostrate and go for refuge. Your body, the nature of precious bodhicitta, is inseparable from all the victorious ones of the 3 times. Thus, all Buddha fields are permeated by your body, and within your body all Buddha fields appear. I bow down to the glorious one. With your flawless, melodious speech, like an ocean of ambrosia, you show all phenomena to be unborn, thereby defeating Mount Meru of views. I prostrate to your unhindered Vajra speech. In the mandala of immutable mind beyond thought, you are never moved from the equanimity state of Dharmadhatu, yet you hold the wisdom power of knowing the 3 times. I prostrate to the spontaneously established non-duality. Even if expressed during all oceans of kalpas by the victorious ones without exception, the qualities of your body, speech, and mind would not be complete. I prostrate to you who possesses limitless qualities. Until the ocean of samsara is exhausted, you perform the supreme activities that ripen all sentient beings. I prostrate to you, the Lama, who is the manifold, effortlessly arising, unceasing, supreme refuge. Ocean of emanated offerings to you delight the victorious ones and ripen all sentient beings. Having completely filled the Dharmadhatu, I make this unsurpassed offerings unceasingly. From the heart palace of the great being radiates light of immeasurable bodhicitta. Thus, in all pure lands of the 10 directions, innumerable beautiful offering goddesses manifest, holding water, flowers, incense, lamps, supreme scents, and food. From the cloud banks of offering rain clouds, delighting the victorious ones of the 3 times. Thereby, filling the spheres of realms, I make offerings to the victorious ones of the 3 times. Light radiates once more from the body of the victorious one, manifesting parasols, victory banners, draped banners, canopies, musical instruments, garments, precious jewels, medicine, and grain. I offer ocean-like cloud banks of these manifold offerings. The 7 precious royal attributes, like the wheel, the 7 subsidiary ones, like the mansion, the auspicious substances, the substances of the cities, and so on, have arisen from the 2 accumulations. Please accept these offerings. Furthermore, I behold in my mind and offer to the protectors of the offerings throughout the limitless pure lands of the victorious ones that belong to an owner and do not belong to an owner, and all that is worthy to be offered. I offer all pure lands of the victorious ones of the 3 times, which are the very pure mandalas of the 3 kayas completely filled with flawless prosperity. Please accept these offerings, you, the Lord of compassion. To you, protector, I offer my body, speech, and mind, all wealth equal to space without exception, and all the virtues accumulated in the 3 times. Out of compassion, please accept these for the benefit of all sentient beings. By seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and recollecting the Vajra goddesses of form, sound, odor, taste, and tangible objects, the 3 obscurations are purified. I offer the goddesses of sensual objects to you. Please accept them, immaculate, victorious Lord. The Vajra goddess of body, nature of form, is the supreme goddess of fully purified ignorance. I merge her with the eyes of the Lama, Lord of the Dharma. Please accept this in the great bliss of non-duality. The Vajra goddess of mind, nature of sound, is the supreme goddess of fully purified hatred. I merge her with the ears of the Lama, Lord of the Dharma. Please accept this in the great bliss of non-duality. The Vajra qualities, nature of odor, is the supreme goddess of fully purified arrogance. I merge her with the nose of the Lama, Lord of the Dharma. Please accept this in the great bliss of non-duality. The Vajra goddess of speech, nature of taste, is the supreme goddess of fully purified desire. I merge her with the tongue of the Lama, Lord of the Dharma. Please accept this in the bliss of non-duality. The Vajra goddess of activity, nature of tangible objects, is the supreme goddess of fully purified jealousy. I merge her with the body of the Lama, Lord of the Dharma. Please accept this in the bliss of non-duality. The Vajra goddess of primordially emptiness is a phenomena, nature of sound, is the supreme goddess of fully purified mind, as it is. I merge her with the mind of the Lama, Lord of the Dharma. Please accept this in the great bliss of non-duality. I offer means and wisdom inseparable, the supreme victorious one, the 5 families with consorts, the assemblies of Viras and Dakinis and Buddhas fulfilling the limitless sky. Please accept this great bliss. From the equality of all phenomena, the ocean-like samadhi, oceans of unwavering manifestations arise and guide all beings. Please accept the assembly of the victorious offspring, the bodhisattvas who rule all Buddha fields. The ones of great fierce wrathful out of immeasurable compassion show grinding teeth and fierce faces on their posing bodies. Please accept these wrathful victorious ones of primordial wisdom who defeat the hordes of Mars by the roar of Hung and Pe. All manifold offerings, inner and secret offerings, are offered in this vast mandala of Samattabhadra's mind, within the mode of abiding in unchanging non-duality. The unsurpassed offering of suchness is offered. All phenomena are primally and completely pure mind as it is. Within that, whatever confusion, dualistic appearances of oneself and others, distinction of good and bad, hatred and attachment there might be, each and everything I confess, may it be purified within that state. With a happy mind, I rejoice in all virtues of all the victorious ones of the 3 times, of the assemblies of the superior ones, of the unceasing wheel of the 2 accumulations, and of sentient beings. I beseech you, protectors of the world of the 10 directions, by completely turning the wheel of stainless Dharma with the sound of an ocean like branches of melodious speech, please ripen all sentient beings without exceptions. I beseech you, protectors who abide throughout all realms, please do not pass into nirvana until the exhaustion of the dhatu of space. Rather, fulfill your commitments by abiding permanently. May all sentient beings be established in the unsurpassed supreme state of this virtue. By the virtues accumulated in the 3 times throughout all samsara and nirvana, and by the undefiled innate virtue. And by the light rays of immeasurable great compassion from the palace of body, speech, and mind, the victorious one, please purify my body, speech, and mind, and thus transform it into your body, speech, and mind. Protectors, as you made offerings and delighted the sublime Lama, likewise may I also offer ocean-like clouds of offerings and delight you. May I follow in your footsteps. May I perform limitless activities that do not even waver a hair's tip with respect to the liberation of your body, speech, and mind. May I be renowned in the 3 worlds. Thus, may anybody, just by hearing my name or remembering me, be completely liberated from the tormenting suffering and attain the state of great bliss of the victorious ones. May I turn into your form equal to the expanse of sentient beings, taming them according to their needs. Thereupon may they take refuge joyfully and be established in the unsurpassed supreme awakening. Those ones who are oppressed with shrouds of ignorance, who lost the path, who are threatened by afflicting emotions, such as the henchmen of the Lord of Death, may helplessly remember me and instantly find the supreme path, becoming the inexhaustible wheel of ornamentation, which is the body, speech, and mind of all the victorious ones of the three times. May I completely dry out the ocean of samsara and establish all sentient beings in the unsurpassed supreme state. In all my lives, may I never be separated from the authentic Lama and enjoy the glories of the Dharma. By completely perfecting the qualities of the bhumis and paths, may I swiftly attain the state of Vajradhara.
Namo Namsi Namda on page 9.
Page 9.
The Tibetan's fine, yeah. Namo Namsi Namda Ge Lama La Namsi Shiryen Zon Jubanbo Kamson Yondro Do Zowan De Gorwa Tondro Zinji Lo Ye Norwa Zogi Jen Mazan Jume Jarvedo Jimbe Yishen Adan Den Zeve Danyin Kadrijen Roa Junze Rinpoche Dasmi Jingone Zorwande Chunye Jingande Jinji Lo Zendone Jime Namdande Londe Chuko Dobara Jinji Lo. Okay, I chant my lineage prayer. While I'm chanting, you can cultivate or change your motivation and also generate bodhicitta. That's important. Zum Zonje Dam Jijingo, Raidon Jingur Jamzo Chabda, Garin Zume Tuji Danin Kamsum Chuji Jarbo Shabje Bemodo Trema Mebala. Go Rabdu the Gozum Guba Jimbo Gone Chan, Sargin Jabson Chu, Jevane Sarabjin Juma Time, Jeda Totsa Jimbo Gone Jesus. Ju Shinji Labaranza Dozo, Kanki Sharson Tawe Mangam Kasan Zumben Dondrashin, Sempesevo, Central Zarvin Rokun Megid. Tujinda Maguni Jurin Jitan Zomjin Kong Jabeton, Pimaga Poder and Aloyen Zorojon, Virgin Solan, Pimidon Boot, Jervinam Doranjun Lunjitran, Sanzo Bay Yoden Som. Manjune Dalo Benzojon, Shini Tungu Shishin Binchen Sijin Kora Gongshin, Rogun Zemoman Passan Zelorukun Danian. Good night, Jibame Gonchuin Kalan Zeba Khan, Jambarashon Gunega, Ezogi, Jo, Indro Bemagar, Ponzambesha, Lesson was a Tonga. Yingamazel Runjo, Zorwe, Jengagiban. Daji Jong Kongro Garin Jening Bongoro, Yoden Gunjong Gavi Jizar de Ningbo Tanzai Bebe Nanjer. Chime Uzer Shabje Daji Jong, Shia Gunsun Jola Jitsidre, Chime Uzer Yongtro Tutenzo, Usalong Senankin Nanjer. Jingmi Lingbe Shala Zorwande, Chedar Jarvese Boshewala. Nodar Chobe Wanju Share, Song Banjo Dungarondo. Jimmy Juji Wamburger Janza, Reton Jamber Shunishin Lovely, Gombeloli, Bobby Derjito, Lundo Chuzi Janson Adanj. Ham Jamian Amjala Gujanza, Omi Juji in Jeborondo, the Zum Sanje Gunjing on. Ransom Chukung Zum Donde Zavilla Mandala Gujans, Tason Drove Lona Chula. Okay. Yeah, we have a lot of questions. think yesterday we went through questions that people ask from online. We don't know them exactly, but today we have both. So maybe we go through some of them now and warm up a little bit ourselves to what we are doing here, just sitting or listening or talking, or we can check ourselves. Talking is meaningful or not, also important. So first question is, what are the three levels of samsara? Maybe this, I'm not sure exactly. Do we have, there's three levels of samsara, or just is talking about the structure of anything existent, beings that exist in a samsara? We categorize three levels, or maybe three places: beneath earth, on earth, and above earth. So that's very simple. We could say beings are three categories or three levels. If that is not your question, then you need to clarify what do you mean the three levels of samsara. Is that what? Okay. Yeah, three realms. Yes, three realms. Yes, thank you. Yeah, that's exactly what I mentioned. Yes, beneath the earth, on earth, and above earth. So beings live somewhere in a space, air, or underneath the ocean, or somewhere, and we think we are on earth. So make sure if earth is round and we are somewhere maybe under the earth, I think. But of course we are human-centric, and we all think our head is always up. So that's a good thing, yeah. And Vidyadharas, second, Vidyadharas, it is the path verse for beings, what exactly it is. Whose question is this? Okay, can you? Yeah.
All right. I was asking if the Vidyadharas are a path, a vessel, or a being, or what is it? I don't know exactly what Vidyadharas is.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, Vidyadharas, it's a Sanskrit term. Of course, if we don't know exactly what does that mean, but literal meaning in Tibetan translation is Ring Zin. So Rig is awareness, and Zin is holding. If you use as a person, then the holder of awareness means person who realized the ultimate reality. And that's maybe then should be a being or person, or yes. And then 3, Garchen Rinpoche spoke about love of parents for their children can turn into afflicted emotion, anger. How do we show love and compassion for those around us without falling into negative emotions? It's now I don't really fully understand what Garchen Rinpoche's message was, but somehow he's saying that if you have this strong attachment with love, then love could be a stranger, because then it's love, not love is not for only others, but it's taking us mainly what you want, kind of. I think most parents are love, but also they have good idea to what kind of children should grow up and how should they act, and so forth. And that's they have love, but also they put a lot of ideas on expectations and ideas on that, and that makes them difficult. And later, not by the love, but by the attachment that we call sometimes love. That is also a good thing, but it's a quite dangerous thing. And often talk about we have these four immeasurable practice, but at the end we need to somehow, equanimity is much important if you have generate love and loving kindness, compassion, and so forth. But then you need to relax and let things go. Maybe this is not relevant, but Tibetans often say that if compassion is too early, it's maybe will turn into hatred. But maybe we humans have those kind of experience already. I don't need to explain. People often goes with if you invite homeless person in your home compassionately, and then maybe then end up that person doesn't leave your house, and maybe then you got frustration and other stuff in our country. Back then in Tibet, most people are homeless, so it's no big deal. So here it's different. And how do we show love and compassion for those around without failing? I think that's why the Buddha Dharma is always struggle with functioning worldly things, because everything goes really well with your life means you are not practicing. So we are not practicing. So it should against every angle of challenge to your thinking, your value, your judgment, your action, and everything. Because this is samsara. We try to reverse that part. In order to reverse that part, we need to change our belief. So we try step by step to changing Nayanas to try to change our belief, and then the great perfection is the most profound one to supposedly everything upside down, or should be. And one of my teacher told me that the Buddhist practice is swimming against the current. So you need to fight all the time. If everything goes smoothly, maybe that's called comfort zone, and maybe not that progressive. And how can we rest in ease when afflictive emotion appears? How can we stay with the mind in awareness? So this morning we have this 6 realms, Garchen Rinpoche's teaching, 6 realms rise due to the 6 afflictive emotions, and that we need to, as soon as rise afflictive emotions, we need to rest in the nature of that afflictive emotion, which means as soon as anger rise or anything that rise, we need to look at our mind nature to settle. That is how to ease them, and how can stay with the mind in awareness. That is another difficult part, because we are habitually, or our habitual is not that peace and rest and relaxing nature. We always need to think, need to make plans, and as soon as we wake up, we cannot stop thinking something good or bad or so. And that's the difficult part. That's why practice is very important, and the repetition is more important than just sitting and thinking. Quietly is helpful, but also needs to look at the mind nature, which is some fortunate people would recognize mind nature. If not, still need to work on the faith and devotion and other understandings. If that is too hard for us, then means we don't have that good luck. And then 5, you mentioned Vajra Yoga. Can you please elaborate about it? Is a practice. It's third Karmapa's mahamudra prayer, the purifier of the disturbing emotion or negativity, based on the the basis of purification is the method is Vajra Yoga. It's just called Vajra Yoga, but it just means mahamudra. It's nothing else. It's called Jongyi Chakchen Dorje Nan Jurchi. The purifier is the mahamudra, which is the Vajra Yoga. So we need to learn mahamudra. So that's until we know mahamudra well, then maybe that question is just think about a practice that called Vajra Yoga. Vajra means indestructible. Yoga means you try to work on something that may give some result. It's not what we do yoga these days. That's not the ancient yoga is more working on the mind, not on the body. And the body is part of who we are, but it's not that. So yoga itself is joining something. Yeah, it means yoga. But Tibetan translations, nal means reality. Chunyi nalmati dharmatatu, the true nature of phenomena. Njor means you reach in that state, means you fully realize dharmatatu. It's called Nanjor in Tibetan. So if we translate the modern day yoga back to in Tibet, it would not work at all. And they think some sort of physical exercise yoga is these days. It's not that. So fully working in inwardly to kind of mental activity that not only activity is involved with realization. That's why mahamudra, everything is recognition of on my nature. And how do you work? Sixth, how do you work with the ripen and unripen with the Dzogchen methods of Toga and Chikyu? So here in Kuntuzanpo prayer, we have these, due to the ripening of these 5 wisdoms, primordial wisdoms, that 5 Buddha family arise. But Garchen Rinpoche emphasized more on that. In order to we fully realize or fully get in these 5 primordial wisdoms, our 5 poisons first need to ripen or transform into 5 wisdoms. So how to do that? The whole practice, the tantric practice, for purpose of ripening or the transformation of that. Usually, every tantric teachings are transformation. Yeah, this we have 100 deities are sort of transformation of negative or the disturbing emotions. That first rise as wisdoms and then rise as deities. And Chikyu and Toga, of course, these 2 terms in the Dzogchen practice, we don't see these prayers, but these 2 are main practice of the Dzogchen Nyingtek heart essence practice. And these would be first we need to familiarize the term Chikyu. Yesterday we talked a little bit about cutting through, which means what we are cutting, what objects of this cutting is, of course, obscuration. We call that is disturbing emotion or afflictive emotions. And how to cut it, only meditation can cut. And meditation is not saying, sometimes we hear people just sit and looking, counting their thoughts. That doesn't count as meditation. It's a need to realize mind nature. Until that, we don't count. Just sitting and counting thoughts doesn't count as meditation. So sometimes modern day mindfulness is good to count. If that's worth for one's life, then better to count how many thoughts are going, and that's somebody have that much time to count, I guess. I would say we better to do something else than counting thoughts. And then Toga, usually Chikyu come Toga a second, because Toga is a more advanced practice than Chikyu. Once you know samsara is not there, your namto is no word, and your judgment and your beliefs are not relevant to reality, then slowly we can think about the practice of vision practice. Then, because then the vision practice doesn't come as a entity or some substance or some appearances that existed as real. So until that, Chikyu is important, because Chikyu makes our life is meaningless, and appearances are essenceless, and so there we can think about this side, often called samsara, is less important than the other side, other shore. Yeah, we often call panchaparamitas, the meter, someone's go beyond this shore. So if we live in this shore, if we are comfortable with that and still want to a little bit solidify, and then we need to follow all the rules and constitutions and so forth. So that is for maybe good for if you want to live longer in this samsara. That's for that. And these two practices are important and need some techniques to learn, and also need to meet some qualified lamas to teach. That is a requirement. And if you are afraid of lamas getting teachings from someone else rather than yourself, that's maybe sometimes it's wonderful, but isolation is always wonderful, and you can think about that. And then 7, right now there is a lot of wars in the world, and they are caused by great evil. For example, Putin's Russia invaded Ukraine because of the will of who is currently power in Russia. How should the Bodhisattva act if he has a lot of karmic connections to the particular war? Should they participate in resistance to aggression? I feel that in action and the decision to step away is inaction can cause a great suffering to sentient beings. Sure. But what excluding here is non-human beings. That is, I think, where we live. And of course, we are human-centric to only care about humans, and especially what we know and what we related. I'm not sure. I don't want to answer this. If I feel that enact is decision to step away in action too, and can cause the great suffering to sentient beings, so be it. If you don't care about other animals and hell beings and others, slaughterhouses only talk about what humans killing each other, then think about other way. I cannot answer that part. And 8, can you describe the peaceful and lawful bodhisattvas mentioned in the text? What's the differences? That's we can talk about other stuff and peaceful and lawful. If you really want to know these deities, and these deities are, I think Garchen didn't mention who these deities are. I was thinking that he will give us each one of them detail. And yesterday I jokingly that our homework was count those deities and how many are there. And especially in Kuntuzanpo Molam, it says how many are there? Did you notice how many are there? How many? How many? More than 100 or? How many? 102, yeah? What's... Okay. No, it's mentioned that 42 and 60, yeah? I mean, that's just arithmetic, so you can add just two-digit numbers. That's very easy. It has 102. So peaceful deities, the Sims have 42. What those are, if I need to look at my notes. Sometimes I forget my deity names, or maybe we cannot go really detail each one by one, because these deities are usually mentioned on tantras that, particularly Nyingma Tantra, that called Guhya Garba, and that Guhya Garba is, in the Tibetan, is Zangwei Nyingbo. And that's based on that. We have 100 deities, usually always 100, and also 100-syllable mantras represent each deity. Yes, that's what we mentioned yesterday. So maybe we can group together, usually traditionally talk about group. If you really wanted to detail, then there's text that each deity's attribution and so forth. And here, what you think first, deities? I think already in the text we have Samadabhadra, male and female. 2, yeah. That's peaceful deities. And then 10 peaceful Buddhas, 5 male and 5 female. And then what we often see, 8 bodhisattvas, yeah, is Avalokiteshvara, Manjushri, and Maitreya, and so forth. 8 bodhisattvas, common 8 bodhisattvas. And then their counterpart, female 8 bodhisattvas. And how many are there already? 12, 18, 30 already, yes. And then we have 6 munis, just talk about how to subdue or helping 6 realms. We have 6 munis, they're called 6 munis. And then the 4 gatekeepers, that male and female, then it's become 8. So those there should have 42, if my math is right. And then in Raffle deities, that 52 or 50, if we add, in a Nyingma tradition, we have Chenchok Yayom, Chenchok, the great supreme deity. I don't think we have here. That is a Raffle form of Samadabhadra. That male and female, 2, yeah. And then we have Vajrasattva and Ranasambhava and Amitabha, Amoghasiddhi, Virajana, or have Raffle form. You can see Vajrakalaya as Vajrasattva and so forth. And that has 10, the male and female form. And then we often talk about these eight consciousness transform and ripen, has these the objects of eight consciousness and eight consciousness transform or ripen into the wisdoms, and that transform appears in the Sanskrit name is Gauri and Jauri. Those are eight and eight, so more female deities. And then we have here is only 4 gatekeepers, female gatekeepers. How many are there? Anyone count? Well, how many? 32? Cannot be. 12, 20, 24. And then we have these 21 Wangchuks that if you have 100 deity tankas, you can see grouping peaceful deities and lawful deities separately. And now how many we have? Usual the 60 lawful deities, the first Hiruka, Yap, and Yom 10, and then these Gauri and Jauri 16, 18, then Gomahi 22, and then we add 28 more, then how many are there? So that should be 60. And 12, that then sometimes we add this Chinchok, male and female, but here we are adding, so that's why 62 and become 102. So that is our the deity, and then one more, maybe then we can just go to. Would you please review for us the Jingme Lingpa lineage up to Garchen Rinpoche? I think someone missing yesterday's teaching. That's already there. If we don't need to go through again that, we better to go to the text. And now I think we all know what the ground is. And the ground, we already say, should be the nature of phenomena. Yeah? And nature of phenomena is we cannot change. There's only single ground, and that's unchangeable. Whatever comes in our mind means that's nothing to do with the ground. So we need to think about that. Even text that mentioned that realizer Buddhas cannot change the ground, and non-realized sentient beings also cannot change the ground. So ground is always not the single ground. It's both these texts and other texts. And yesterday we went through a little bit view and ground. So now we are clear, yeah? View means our thinking. So doesn't have much value. And ground is something else that we cannot fabricate. So let ground it be what it is, and rather than bring. But of course, Nayanas introduce maybe their realities a little bit differently because it's difficult to understand the actual reality. But first we can read this. I read Tibetan first, and then we can read English together, first paragraph, second paragraph, and then I can go through a little bit meanings of those. Do we have? Okay. Oh, if you cannot chant well in the Tibetan, don't worry about it. I can chant for you. Parganda Zombola Janzalo Dominelo Rajido Dandrayo Bamai Jarvindamas Mebamai Kunde Gunje Gandamai Juyole De Zochenshi Nelo Tobarsho. English.
Homage to the glorious Samattabhadra. The true nature of things is naturally free of conceptual projections. It does not exist, since even the victorious ones do not see it. Yet neither is it non-existence, as it is the ground of all samsara and nirvana. There is no contradiction here, for it lies beyond the realm of expression. May all realize this great perfection, the true nature of the ground.
Mm-hmm. And this end of this line is say, may all realize the great perfection, the true nature of the ground. And the realization or realize part, why it's need to realize it. And the objects of realization is ground. And we can see that even sentence structure, even my English can tell that the ground is objects. What do we need to know? And talk in Tibet realize or understand, sometimes uses understanding, or Garchen Rinpoche often use hakoa, which means understanding or realize or recognize or aware, or you can translate in many ways, but here use as realize. I think that's more important. And usually we practitioners, since first humans, we need to learn. Yeah, so soon as we need to send children to how many years in school? Still come up same. Very much same, and then rest of the life is just repeating same mistake. That's what we humans are. And one time I heard that it's very interesting thing that only grow beings drink milk. That's only humans. All animals, they grow up, they don't drink milk. So it's done. It's not. You are not child anymore. So we can tell that how wonderful our life is, and drinking milk. So school and those are making just as something. I don't know what the product is, but somehow we need to realize, and in order to do that, there's three wisdoms. Yesterday we talked about. We first seems need to send to school or read a book or listen to teachings to understand words and then relate that to meanings and then kind of conceptualize what it is. That's called Tibetan is Tobaya. To some Komsom in 37 Bodhisattva practice also we call listening, pondering, and meditation as these three are. That is another translation, and you can also say study, contemplation, and meditation. So these three, step by step, it's a kind of deepening your understanding. And then also we have this triad thing that understanding and experiencing and realizing these three has also layers. And understanding is almost like what you are studying and you think you understand something, it will disappear after a while. And then experiences also comes and goes, but realization should stay all the time. So that's why realization is important. Since English is also realize understanding is superficial, but realizing should be more. If not, we need to think about realize means as something that you really recognize and really deeply kind of directly understanding. It's not just what we think might be in a certain way. And in order to realize that, all the practices and other things involved in here, but this prayer is the full purpose of the prayer for realizing or the practice that should not be stray from the genuine practice, and what the fruit or the result is what we should get the result. And the first one, the true nature of thing is naturally free from conceptual projection. So these first, of course, we humans have nothing but concept, so that's a good thing. We can make meanings, and that's make perfectly who we are, and that's why we need to send children to school to learn some concept, to build something. I don't know what is that. And so this concept then stays with us until we die and beyond. And maybe we make our concept more concretized, solidify, and other way. Or we can just a little bit relax, and our concept are just fabrication or imputation that doesn't have much worth. Could be that another way of working. And this ground is free of conceptual projection, the Dzogchen ground, or our mind nature, the Buddha nature, often used as a Buddha nature. It does not exist. Exist means sometimes we think exist. As soon as we say exist, it means some entities must be there. When we say it does not exist, it means nothing. So our concept is so vulnerable that we don't have any flexibility to think beyond almost these two. And that is dangerous. And also, when we say not exist, then we suddenly think maybe nothing there. And then, since even the victorious ones that do not see, and even the Buddhas don't see our mind nature. And of course, then this is paradoxical and contradictory, existent and non-existent, and then is often these, if you are familiar with the philosophies that we talk about, Madhyamikas, Yogacaras, always this struggle with these two and how can deal with that. And already say not exist, and then say yet neither it is non-existent. As it is the ground of samsara and nirvana. So even we have this profound text prayer, but I think we need to relax ourselves to things come naturally to us rather than, again, we learn how to conceptualize, but relax to accept. There is no contradictories here. If we can take that, then it would be much easier. And these two, when we say there's no, it does not exist, or it does exist, these two are not contradictory. So somehow my guru says that in order to believe in my practice of Mahayana or Dzogchen, you need to believe something beyond unbelievable things. If you cannot do that, means it's in our mind everything is contradictory. So it's please, if you can make room for that, it's good for you and good for me, and then good for everyone. If not, then it's sometimes we train that we need to judge all the time, and then sometimes we follow very strongly that our judgment is so valuable that we can make all sort of rules. Yeah, that's some rules are good, some rules are bad. Then. Yeah, we worship Constitution, but that's just written in 1600. Before that, we don't have constitutions. People can live, but that's the prayer. Say, may all realize this great perfection, the true nature of the ground, which ground is our mind nature. And so our earlier question was Chikchu. So fully we need to realize this mind nature is depend on what kind of practice you do. And that's why this Chikchu practice is very important to cutting through. If you are really Dzogchen practitioner, I often say is that the teaching is Dzogchen. Only teaching is Dzogchen. How to say in English a little bit. The Dharma is Dzogchen, but that is not good enough. The person needs to become a Dzogchen. In order to become a Dzogchen, we have to try some real practices that I early mentioned, we have Chikyu or Togar. And a Chikyu means we need to cut our concept. It's painful, but it's good for us. So we need to, one by one, cutting our concept is a little bit difficult. And finally, we need to even cut our good thoughts of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, because white cloud or black cloud or doesn't matter. It's could upgrade sun. Iron chain or golden chain, it doesn't matter, can shackle us. So somehow, first, I think we minimize our bad thoughts. It's good for us. Then we don't need to sleep pills and others. And then we can cut good thoughts that maybe also bothering us. Yeah. So we do step by step and flow. That you can learn from Dzogchen, real Dzogchen teacher like Garchen Rinpoche. So that's it's really important to learn that. I think human life is very short, and I don't know, I often say this, but sometimes maybe I took an economist class, and my economist teacher say, everything is scarcity, time, money, and everything. If you have only $5, what would you do? You would order a latte or some chocolate cake. You cannot have both. So you need to make choice to spend on what. It's better to spend carefully and not spend on something else in our life. So already mentioned that for 84,000 teachings differences, and you can spend whole life reading those texts, or you just want to focus on something that really can bring you into this realm of realization. Yeah, that's another thing. And then we read Tibetan. Still, we are still talking about the ground. Can you? Ngo tong be tak bin thale cho rong yi sa ve chi bi ma thang cha tu yin ga me na so zhu ve xie song de ye yong tong la ta me te zhou jin xie ye ne lo to va ra xiao.
In essence, it is empty, hence free from the limitations of permanence. By nature, it is clear and free from the limitations of nihilism. In capacity, it's unobstructed. It is the ground of manifold emanations. It is divided into three, yet in truth there is no such differentiations. May all realize this great perfection, the true nature of the ground.
Yes, wonderful things happening here, and we already mentioned that the nature of ground is neither existence or non-existence, and also these existence and non-existence are not contradictory in this state. That because it's existent and a non-existent, we base on talk about something. When we say it does not exist because even Buddhas don't see it, or if it's not non-existence because it's basis for samsara and nirvana. We talk about the one ground, single ground, yet rises samsara and nirvana both, and then the result as both. Yeah, and that's why we can think about, conceptualize a little bit, but we need to realize beyond conceptualization. And then the real nature of our mind is there is three natures. Yesterday we talked about. And these sometimes used as three kayas. Kayas means three bodies. Sometimes we use a waking body or Buddha body, whatever we want to use. It's, you are familiar with the Sanskrit term, some Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya. Tibetan is Chuku, Longku, Truku. And then if you want to use your English as because you learned English from school, then better to use that because that comes with a concept, and that concept would be the true nature body and enjoyment body and what you call emanation bodies. Is that what you learn from school? That sounds give a little bit different concepts than just say Dharmakaya. Yeah. So we see how much we can learn from others or teachings or schools that always teach us concept. And first, sometimes we use these as essence and nature, and then the compassion, pervasive compassion. So our mind is empty, yet it's luminous, and also yet it's a compassionate one. We are talking about mind, our mind nature. So you can see Garchen Rinpoche's teaching, he doesn't distinguish these two because he's assuming us to, we already know when we talk about our mind, means mind nature and our mind essence, and those are the important part of us. Sometimes this helps because almost who you are is what you believe in. Yeah, it's very important to believe in these three kayas in ourselves. There is a sentence used on, I think somewhere, it's used, belief is seeing. Have you heard of that? Yes. Must be learned from school. So belief is very important. And belief that we call view. And we already say the ground, we cannot change, we cannot fabricate, but we fabricate due to based on our view, how we believe in. In essence, it is empty, the first characteristic or nature, hence free from the limitations of permanence. And these is called Dharmakaya. And by the nature, it's clear and free from the limitation of nihilism, that is called Sambhogakaya. And also we can relate these three as three primordial wisdom. I don't know which one you use. Sometimes people use Yeshi as primordial knowing or primordial wisdom or just gnosis. For me, I use gnosis, but you can think about whatever you want to use. And this Ngo Tong Bi Yi Xi, the empty essence gnosis, and then the Rang Yi Salvi Yi Xi, luminous nature gnosis, and then Tukji Kunchap Yi Xi, or pervasive great compassion gnosis. So these three are either you can relate to or describe through three wisdoms or three kayas. And in a Dzogchen, particular Dzogchen term used as these three is three abiding wisdom, abides in the ground, in our mind nature. It's not come out yet. And that's why it's called abiding. And probably we remember that once it ripens, then it's 5 Buddhas. But first, the Kuntuzanpo and the 5 wisdoms that arise here first in a Kuntuzanpo prayer, if you remember. And these 5 wisdoms is called for the Sambhogakayas. The 3 wisdom we are talking about is or Dharmakaya wisdom. So these are a little bit different. And then the final 2 wisdoms are the wisdoms that sees all phenomena are or kind of distinctively, and one wisdom that sees phenomena are what it is, kind of nature, rather than the distinctive characteristic of the phenomena. And these 3, its capacity unobstructed, it is the ground of manifold emanations. The emanations arise from compassion. And it is divided into 3. You can see Ngobo Rangji Tukje, or the essence, nature, and compassion. Yet, in the true, there is no such differentiations. Means these 3 are not really different 3 things. And the same thing, may all realize this great perfection, the true nature of the ground. So this is aspirational prayer. Garchen Rinpoche told us aspirational prayers are very powerful, and bodhisattvas have these powerful aspirations that why can come back to help us. Similarly, what we wish will happen sooner or later. So if we pray this prayer, then one day will happen. Yeah? That's what we need to believe in. Okay, next one. Samji me cha zhombo kuntong cha yu tong mi bi chung zi namba shek. De dong ju la jarvi ja jong do tong da var mi ten sar chen bu yen. Zog jen xi yi ni lo do var xiong.
Inconceivable and free of all superimposition, one-sided fixation on things being either existent or non-existent completely dissolves. The full import of this turns back even the tongues of the victors. Without beginning, middle, or end, it is the great expanse of deep clarity. May all realize this great perfection, the true nature of the ground.
Yes, still we are talking about on the ground. Ground means what we have. Need to think about. We are not talking about distant reality that we don't have access or we don't have anything to do with. It's just talking about our nature, but somehow we are so clever that we cover that what we have and chasing things that we don't have. And that's called samsara. And that's what we humans do. And these grounds still, we saw these three natures, and this ground is not existing things or non-existent things, but still, of course, we can talk about. Doesn't mean we are talking the ground, but we can talk about. I think that's why English is wonderful, that we can say talk about means around. No, that's I'm joking. But similarly, some languages are more conceptualized than other languages, and I think Tibetan, we don't need to put that kind of about or separating the verb and objects, but so we need to talk about the ground. And however, this is inconceivable and free of all superimpositions. That those we learn from schools and classmates and so forth. That's those impositions and so forth. And one-sided of a fixation, those free of that. We cannot say even it exists or does not exist. It's beyond our mind. And then on things being neither existing, non-existing, completely dissolve. All thinkings are from us. Yeah, there is nothing to do with our nature of our mind. And the full import of these turns back, even the tongue of victors. I think that's English maybe making sense, but Tibetan means even usually the Buddha's tongue or the ability of talking about or introducing or expressing some profound meanings would have power to say profound meanings. But this is even deeper than profound or profounder than just profound. So it's become Buddha's tongue is become useless. First, Buddha doesn't have tongue, so that's another. Buddha is not a person, yeah. That sometimes people don't know, maybe. Just concept, yeah. And these then, without beginning, middle, and end, it is a great expanse of deep clarity. So yesterday we talked about the origin of samsara and nirvana, and this primordial ground is the first one, and so forth. So here saying there's no beginning, no middle, and no end. And Garchen Rinpoche also scolding us today that is a stupid question. I never heard of his saying that. Yeah. Yeah, we are. So that's a good thing. We group of us. Don't be worried that you are alone. So and without beginning, middle, and end, it is great expanse of deep clarity. So clarity is often used because we don't want to end up in darkness. Yeah, we want to be peace, you see the earliest Buddha's teaching is nirvana is peace, tune quality, light, and then comes much more what we want. So those good things, and but if we don't have attachment on that, it's good. As soon as we have attachment on that, then means something going on in this side, not that side. Yeah. And may all realize this great perfection, the true nature of the ground. And I think that is ground. So this is 3 verses about the ground. Maybe better say for the ground. Yeah. And then we can read again. We can feel what really Tibetan first, and then English. Par Kuntuzanpo la chantiing domine lo rongi judan ja yobama yin jarvin de maze me ba ma yin gunde gunji je garde ma yin ju yi yo le de zo jian xie yin ne lo do ba sho ngô tông bê đà bên thà lê chô rong yin sa vê chi bê mê tông ra thực nhiên gà mê na zô trù vê yê zông tê yê yong thong la thà mê zô chên xì yê nê lô tô bà rê xiong Samje me chab zhong do gun dan cha yu dan me be jiang zi nan ba ye de dong ju la jar ve jia zhong do tong da ba me den sar jian bo yin zao jian xie yi ne lo do ba xiong. English.
Homage to glorious Samattabhadra. The true nature of things is naturally free of conceptual projections. It does not exist, since even the victorious ones do not see it. Yet neither is it non-existence, as is the ground of all samsara nirvana. There is no contradiction here, for it lies beyond the realm of expression. May all realize this great perfection, the true nature of the ground. In essence, it is empty, hence free from the limitations of permanence. By nature, it is clear and free from the limitations of nihilism. Its capacity unobstructed, it is the ground of manifold emanations. It is divided into 3, yet in truth there are no such differentiations. May all realize this great perfection, the true nature of the ground. Inconceivable and free of all superimposition, one-sided fixations on things being either existent or non-existent completely dissolves. The full import of this turns back even the tongues of the victors. Without beginning, middle, or end, it is the great expanse of deep clarity. May all realize this great perfection, the true nature of the ground.
Okay, keep in mind that this is called ground, and we cannot change. Just better to do not fabricate that. We only can pray to realize the nature. And then path, we can do many things. That's called practice. And practice involves a lot of things, and then I will introduce or I will say more that the path and meditation, what's different between path and meditation, and also I will try to clarify view meditation conducts are all kind of subsumed in a path, not in the ground, not in a fruit. So now we better to leave ground as it is. Don't try to fabricate the ground. Just need to know, and then if you have ideas and you have energy and you have courage, then on a path, then can do many things. Yeah. I think today's we can stop here and come back if you have time and energy, and also want to know what others' questions, and you may also have more questions that we can talk about those discussed, and please now 30-minute tea break. Okay. Okay, thank you so much for coming back. I hope you have some coffee or tea or whatever, drink water or anything that help you to wake up. And earlier, I think I probably saying that I already mentioned this, our lineage names from Jigme Lingpa. I think that's was my mistake that I thought I went through yesterday, so that person was not in this yesterday's group. So I was thinking maybe I don't need to repeat that part, but of course Tibetan names are foreigner names to most of you, and even sometimes for me it's Tibetan names are what do you mean? But I think we just start from Jigme Lingpa, maybe it's better. Before that, in the 14th century, Longchenpa, famous Longchenpa, and between that it's more complicated, but the lineage itself is directly come from Longchenpa to Jigme Lingpa, 14th century to 18th century, and through vision of wisdom body of Longchenpa. And after Jigme Lingpa, the 18th century, we have this, if you don't know, check online, should show picture yogi with wearing some white, red clothes. And his student, he has many students. The main student is, if you know Dodo Rinpoche, now we have Dodo Rinpoche, but the first Dodo, his name is Jigme Chenrezig. If you can make note now, maybe later, if someone can help, what really appropriate way to English phonetic, what would be, and I'm not good at English phonetic writing either. And then Jigme Chenrezig's student is Jigme Gyarvi Nyugu. And Jigme Gyarvi Nyugu, as you can see, all has a Jigme name, that because Jigme Lingpa and Jigme Chenrezig, the first daughter, and Jigme Gyarvi Nyugu. And then now we coordinate name Patrol Rinpoche or Tsa Patrol, but his name is also Jigme Chuji Wangbo, is Patrol Rinpoche's name. So all has Jigmes. And I think yesterday maybe I forget to mention one important thing, that Jigme Lingpa's reincarnations are Patrol Rinpoche and Jamyang Chense Wangbo and Ndong Chense. Those are the three reincarnations of Jigme Lingpa, and if we think about the body, speech, and mind, often we use, and the sort of mind emanation is Ndong Chense, if you can remember that. Then two are probably we know, and body emanation is Jamyang Chense Wangbo, and Patrol Rinpoche is speech emanation of Jigme Lingpa. You can see how important it is. And then his student is Mipam Rinpoche, one of his students. Almost, if you went to Rangyung Yeshi or other Shedras, would know that mainly Mipam Rinpoche's texts are taught in that Shedra. And he has also another short text that now maybe we are spreading a little bit, but he has a short ground and path and fruition prayer, also very famous. I do keep in my daily prayer, but one day maybe you can look at that text to compare with these texts, or even Lord Our House, may they have the translation, so it's good to look at. And so Mipam Rinpoche's student, we have famous Khenpo Kumbal and Pubaturku. Those are, people know more, and of course there's much more, but and these two, probably you know, if Bodhicharya Avatara you study, one of commentary that already translated in English is Khenpo Kumbal's commentary. And his students, Khenpo Ngakchung, and then Khenpo Ngakchung's students, we have many, but Chara Rinpoche, the Nyukshin Khenpo, those are Chara Rinpoche in Nepal, Nyukshin Khenpo travel in Europe and America, and people know more. And then Khenpo Münzer is Garchen Rinpoche's teacher. So then come to Garchen Rinpoche, and then from Garchen Rinpoche to you. So you are in that lineage. You cannot just run away. That's karmically you are shackled, and even you run away, you need to drag these heavy lineage angles that you may not have chance to run away. So that's once you involve in this lineage, you probably don't have much choice. Either you like it or not. Yeah. And that is lineage, what we have, and we should be proud of our lineage. And now our business, real business here is wonderful questions all the way, all the time, but some are I cannot because it's difficult to trying to reduce concept and try to not involve big ideas that solving others' problem is not my favorite. So I'm trying to away from that. But what we can say, or what Garchen Rinpoche's teaching, we receive a message that may be relevant to our practice, not necessarily to solving many problems, but we can deal with the problem. That's better, maybe. Number one is quite, there's long paragraphs, so I read slowly and not that complicated. I think this Dharma allow me to rest in awareness. When I am in a work world where I don't have control of my environment, I can lost that awareness. I feel weak to maintain that awareness in effect of others and the Dharma around me. I get sucked into it. What is the best way to cultivate strains of mindfulness and relaxation so that I do not fall prey to destruction and unmindfulness and the five poison? Yes, it's good that a person or people have this kind of fortunate to recognition and also aware of or can rest in awareness. That's a wonderful thing. And of course, in the modern days, busy working and around people also have a lot of strong ideas that want you to act as same as others, and it's a little bit difficult to keep maintaining, and that of course everyone does. And I think this we all experience in this way. There's not much really you need to do this, or the actual message would be drop everything, go to cave, and don't think about even tomorrow's meals coming from. That is, I'm sure, a little bit difficult, I think. Here or in recently Chicago, maybe I give these Tibetans sort of strong dharmic message that involves with these 4 goals. I use goal. These Tibetans, Deba, but Deba means your aim or main focus or your goal. There's 4 goals, Dharma practitioners. If I remember correctly, sometimes I need to switch back to Tibetan. In English we see Lopuk Chula Deba. So that the mind's aim need to focus on Dharma, or your goal of training mind is Dharma. So it means you are fully focusing on Dharma, nothing but Dharma. Dharma means the actual Dharma, not the modern day well-being, self-boosting exercises and yogas and meditation. And that helps maybe. And then secondly, what we call Lopuk Chula Deva, Chupuk Drangla Deva. The goal of Dharma is forward to a homeless beggar. It means you should be a homeless if you really do Dharma. And then the goal of now you are Dharma practitioner, you are homeless, and now your main goal is you need to go to empty cave. Don't hang around with a bunch of others to chatting and begging on the streets, annoying others. Just go to an empty cave. So your goal is just empty cave. And then the goal of empty cave is death. So you need to die there. Don't come back in a town, wandering around. So this is I call 4 goals, but people can translate maybe better way, or it's a chupuk. Puk is a sort of goal, and or So anyway, that's his idea. If until we do that, I think that these things come around, and it always pokes our sensitive areas that we don't like to people know. And the whole Dharma practice would help. I cannot just say you do this and then all the problems will go away. So we Dharma practitioners has more problems, should have, that's the idea, because we can handle more problems. And we even want to become a bodhisattva. Sattva in Tibet translate as simpa. So the person's mind has brave energy of awakening idea. So we are brave and we are practitioners, so don't worry about that. If you have that brave, and that's the best way of we can achieve our 4 goals before going up or going nowhere. But this seems it's very important. At least there's that teaching, yeah. Now everyone think what he's talking about. Yeah. And then second, nirvana is the conceptual dualistic counterpart of samsara. Then doesn't the ground mean an experienced realization of the state of beyond both? Yeah. So these texts, many texts, are sometimes, you can see in Garchen Rinpoche's teaching, sometimes he assumed that we understand at least partially. That's why it doesn't need to extend my nature, but your mind means my nature. And similarly, when we say nirvana, so of course it's concept. It's once comes through our mouths, that verbalizing something, the terms that we differentiate what is good and what is bad, or what is samsara and what is nirvana, or concept. This is, yes, is a counterpart of the samsara. And then doesn't the ground means experience realization of the state beyond both? See, again, here we have a little bit of confusion that I say ground doesn't mean realization. Ground, don't touch ground. We need to fix our view. We don't need to fix ground. And so realization of ground is important. Not the ground itself is not experience. If we experience ground or we conceptualize ground, means then that is our part of the ground. That's a conceptualization. The actual ground is beyond samsara and nirvana. It's not nirvana, because once we don't have samsara, then means there is no nirvana either. So that's beyond both. And beyond both means the ground is that just objects. Yeah. And then third, I thought my view was that the basis ground was beyond or included samsara and nirvana. I thought my view was that the basis ground was beyond, include samsara and nirvana. Maybe again this is we have. So the ground is not our view. Ground is reality. And we can think about, I have a car. That's your concept. The car itself is not concept. Yeah. And that kind of the objects, and then how you conceptualize it. I thought my view was that the basis of ground and we view as that the result would also be beyond both samsara and nirvana. Yeah, the understanding part of the ground beyond samsara and nirvana, and also the result is beyond from samsara and nirvana. We are not getting wonderful, shiny things anymore. It's we are going to nirvana, and nirvana is we call peace, but it's beyond our concept. Then I think I heard you say that result is nirvana. Exactly. Because both ground and because ground is beyond concept, our view needs to match to the ground because we are realizing the ground. And if that's the true nature we are realizing, then there would not have samsara and nirvana, and the result would not have samsara or nirvana, or result is neither samsara nor nirvana. And then I think I heard you say the result is nirvana. Yeah, I said that because we are now communicating. We are in the same school. It is called kindergarten. We need to say names and concepts. We need to learn and even talk about origins and history and how it rise and how it's dissolved. So we call nirvana. It's better to use terms to introduce. That's why earlier I mentioned that the studying is very important. Because first we need to conceptually understand, need to build a wisdom, conceptually wisdom that understand and build your belief, confidence, and so forth. And then slowly we can test that can experience or not. Contemplation, yeah? Then finally, if we conceptually understanding is close enough to the ground, our view, that conceptual view, can kind of lead us to non-conceptual level. But once we verbalize teachings, we need to say something. We have to have sort of sentence structure that at least contain subject, object, verbs to express complete ideas. Why we call ideas? Because it conceptualize, make package to sharing with others. if you don't have that idea as conceptualized package, then you cannot deliver. Yeah, that's why we have to have this concept. So then that way, in order to motivating others or self, we better, because we went to this Buddhist kindergarten, we learned that nirvana is up and samsara is down. So we have that good idea in our system, and 10 virtues are good and 10 non-virtues are bad, and then sometimes we call 5 poisons is very terrible things, and samsara is a vicious circle that it turns you, it makes you crazy and so forth. So we have that idea, and that now we want to go beyond this samsara. And if I say nirvana, that's wonderful. Yeah, I want to go there. And so that's why terms are matter, concepts are matter. Don't just think about the concept are useless and terms are meaningless. They are, but we still need that because we are still sort of kindergarten, and we need to learn those. And but that term doesn't stay in there forever, and these terms are doesn't. At a certain point, these terms doesn't matter. If you say samsara is nirvana, nirvana is samsara, that's fine. Even Nagarjuna's Mula Madhyamaka Karika says samsara is nirvana, samsara is nature is nirvana, nirvana nature is samsara. So samsara and nirvana are not two separate things. And those we can say, but sometimes terms are matter. I don't mean nirvana is nirvana, because there's no nirvana, yeah. But for sake of us to motivate, I would say, rather than samsara, we are going to samsara or hell realm, then no, I don't want to go there yet. Better to say we are going to nirvana. It's peace, wonderful, relax, and or your friends are there and happy, and so forth. That's a motivator. It's not good things. I think I don't know what some in English may have some good how to motivate small childs to parents that says that maybe not truth. If you do homework today, you may not need to brush your teeth tomorrow. Something. It's a wonderful thing, you know. And then clearly I'm confused. Me too. That's why we are in samsara. I think there's a level of confusion. I think some are serious, some are a little bit less serious, but we are in samsara. The confusion is the very, very first one. But I'm not really joking. But yet the terms are matter and terms doesn't matter. So we need to balance that part. If we fixated terms too much, then Dzogchen teaching or concept is many are contradictories that comes together and it doesn't contradict. We already saw it does not exist, but it's also does not non-existent. Yeah, so those kind of, these two are not contradictory and so forth. It's coming again and again. And please talk a bit more about this, if only I'm making even enough sense for you to elaborate from that I said. I mean, perfectly makes sense, but the only I think I can offer is terms are good for us, but this is just kind of temporary thing, and if we fixate on the terms too much, then it becomes a very kind of bondage of shackle our mind, and then fixated. And that's why education is sometimes a very dangerous thing. Yeah. Why they call brainwash? Because the terms are fixated, planned in our brain, and that the green thing washes everything, and that's called brainwash. Because others cannot enter in once taking all the positions of space in a brain by concept and terms, and then non-concept and non-terms are no chance to enter. And then in your experience and teaching, how do we manage to stay stable in a view? Yeah, we talk more tomorrow, because tomorrow's sessions are path where will come how to manage, or how to stabilize, and how to develop our view, meditation, and conduct. Usually, first we need to understand correctly, and then we can maintain that understanding or that realization through meditation, and then conduct would help the meditation enhance or develop. And usually Mitam Rinpoche's one line, maybe two lines, that Xietar Tawe Tak Jeba Tishin Gom Tong Jubi Jiang. So he's saying in a way that view establishes, maybe the subject is you, in a way you establish through view, you need to maintain your meditation in the same, follow that view. The view can establish our belief system, conceptually or non-conceptually. Belief means concept. Beyond belief is realization. And that's come through view. View means what you conceptually you can think, look, and judge, believe. And non-conceptually you can realize, also dealing with your capability of your mind. And the meditation is mainly repetition of that, what you know, you need to maintain in that state, then you need to repeat and practice in that way. And then the conduct, what we call, means whatever you do purpose of helping or develop this understanding or realization that maintaining through meditation you need to enhance by conduct. So conduct is very, very important. So that's why even maybe many of you have knee problems and others, but we still need to sit like rishis in good old days in India in the jungles, but painfully. That's called practice. Practice is painful, but that's good for us. That's why it's called practice. If no pain then means no gain, yeah, in English. So no pain means no practice. Practice means you need to painfully do something. If you get bored, I often say boring is the most profound practice. So welcome here. And that's, yes, maintaining view or meditation is the meditation can extend or maintain your view. So mainly view is very important. Belief is important. And then 5, in the Mahamudra teachings of the Greek Tilopa and the Naropa, there is scripture account that Naropa was constantly seeking spiritual advice from Tilopa, and Tilopa felt Naro had all the academic understanding, but needed to cut his dualistic fixation. Tilopa reached for his sandal and proceeded to slap Naro across face with his sandal. This was a profound experience for Naropa, and wondering if you could explain what possibly happened during that famous and scared Dharma, even from a spiritual perspective. I really cannot. Yeah, it's not the. My understanding is that is not only one thing that Naro kind of suddenly work, but there is what we call the great Garchen, the great 12 hardships, what Naro did, and then many contents, these many small hardships that build up until that, and then suddenly have that. I think one message would be we in West sometimes, of course, we all have doubts on our teachers and so forth, and somehow in Tibet we have so whatever Lama does, you see everything is purposeful and everything is pure motivation. And that way, the Lama's blessing enter into your mind. If we don't have that kind of brave of embracing this, and also, of course, faith is in the West very taboo area. I don't want to say too much, but so those are involving there, and the slapping sandal this day would be, I don't know, there's many terms, but we don't go through there, yeah? It's just say, wake up message. And that's totally up to you, whatever we think. I'm just saying there's traditional teachings, many things, many elements involving. It's not just slapping the sandal. And Naropa would not have any doubt of something else. This is just purpose of waking, and Telopa would not have that either. So perfectly fine and perfectly work and perfectly ever since. And ever since then, Kajupa has famously practiced hardship that you can see Milarepa's buildings and how Marba treated him nicely. And so those kind of sometimes help us because sometimes people think other stories we can hear and then maybe nothing in our tradition. So think about that. And then, six, Jetsu Milarepa has taught extensively on the pitfall of having a wife, partner, and the most cherished son for loving daughter or even property or home. It's caution, I think. I'm sure Jetsu Milarepa is everything is pitfall for him. And some things we cannot just telling here. Probably you read Jetsu Mila's story, and he's quite interesting guy, I think, and seems he cannot get along with people that well, and one time his sister sort of helping him, want to help him because he's beggar that the 4 course, yet he's taking these 4 course. And he doesn't want to come down. He wants to, first his mind is turned into Dharma, and his Dharma is, whole life is beggar, and then his whole life is in caves and caves. Then he died in a cave. And his wish was, if when I die, there's nobody around. So that's his wish. And he died quite that way, I think. But you can revisit what he did when his sister came to offering foods, and then second time she was thinking maybe he has no clothes, so maybe better to have some covers. So he went back in the towns, and he got some sort of cloth, and he went back and she offered to him. And the next time, what happened? You can revisit that part. So it's quite wonderful. So I don't know. That's helpful for us to wake or not, but that's each individual has different way to dealing with on emotions. Similarly, I think practice is also so vast variety, so we can practice in that way. So I think Jetsu Mila definitely have these taught extensively on the pitfall of having wife, and that also I don't remember exactly, but we can visit that. One thing he's saying that chu nam chu jin dur cher song tesong chu par lamba nam chu ji cher ma sona. So he's saying that all dharmas are subduing all the 8 worldly films. You all know, maybe. If not, you need to visit Google, I think, website. And he said these days, practitioners who believe that they are good practitioners, but their 8 worldly films are boosting, increasing. He's saying all dharmic things are a pitfall for him, especially names, clothes, food, and then beyond that, yeah. And then, in fact, Jetsu Milarepa, upon return to his mother's residence, was offered some property back, but Jetsu Milarepa rejected it. He also had the opportunity to have a wife a while back at the same community, but rejected this idea as well. Is there a way to have a family home and still attain the realization of Jetsu Milarepa, or must we follow his example in order to attain stage of that Jetsu Milarepa, attain his life? So, yes, four goals. We only have 4 goals in the Dharma practitioners. Yes, wife and partner, and all these are, you think, as worldly things, then dependent. No, that's the idea of practice. The Jetsu Milarepa himself, I think there is a beginning, is some conditions that he needs to run away, and later maybe people suggest that he should have property and so forth. But he's already into his mind turned into Dharma, and his Dharma turned into poverty, and his poverty turned into empty cave, and he just wants to die there. That is his main goal. I don't know. Anyone should do that. If you can do that, that's the best. That's the best way of doing it. If cannot do it, then we need to do something else. That's best way of practice. And then final 7. How do the teaching explain deja vu? What does deja vu mean?
When you feel you already experiencing.
Oh.
It's French.
And then it already happened before. This is a sense of deja vu.
It feels like a dream, you know, like you had a dream and you're like, oh, it happens in real life.
In French, it means I already saw, like déjà already. Vu is to see, so it's a French term.
How do the teaching explain deja vu? What does that mean? No, I mean the question.
Who is asking me?
Online. That's why deja vu. Maybe thinking it's already happened. Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's talking about karmic past lives, is maybe what they're mentioning, because you might go somewhere and it's like, oh, I know you, I've seen you before.
Mm-hmm.
There's no evidence.
Do you have any examples like, yes?
I have an example. Once when I was little, I was walking through a field, and it was like I had seen it all exactly like it before. That's all
Uh-huh.
I can say. And it was the feeling of like, oh, I've done this exactly as it is right now before.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, this way, I think maybe then, I really don't know the word, but I heard of this deja vu, and seems like samsara is deja vu, yeah. No, I'm not joking, yeah. It's kind of familiar words, but the good thing is this also like dreams, so using these 8 examples of samsara as dream and mirage and all kind of some sort of familiar with, but it's not really exist. Maybe that's, I only can say that if someone can offer more, or we still have 10 more minutes, so I would love to, someone. Oh, okay, yes. In the meaning, Garchen said, we begin our confusion as we wake up. What does that mean? Yeah, that's really, this morning we have scolding from him. That is stupid question. Yeah. So how about we think that samsara is not happen or doesn't matter, but samsara is just start now. Samsara is rising, ceasing in a moment by moment. Ground means that. So in our chanting text has I often think it's a very profound where Namo Nangsi Namdach as Namo to the Guru, the outer purity of all experience and existence. I offer all appearances and existence arisen from primordial ground. Yeah. If page 9 prayer. This is really without explaining much about how the ground rise or everything rises from ground, which means just rising and dissolving, rising and dissolving. Don't conceptualize too much, but it's just ideally we are here, so we feel it, so we think we are here now, but nobody really knows. And usually, giving example, I think I'm here. I think you're all here. It doesn't mean you are there. I'm maybe just, I'm thinking. There's famous Chinese writings here, the persons who is dreaming butterfly and then saying that, am I dreaming butterfly or butterfly is dreaming me? So it's we don't really know. I feel I'm here, but doesn't necessarily mean I'm here. Especially what I see you. I'm not saying you are less important, but that maybe just my mind, I don't know. But this rising is, I offer, that's we can talk a little bit about maybe next time. All appearances and experience risen from the primordial ground. It's a profound understanding of everything's rise from this primordial ground means nothing never arise. Because primordial ground has no action and no room for action. We cannot fabricate that. So there is no, primordial ground cannot be as a foundation or base because it's baseless. It's too much. If you think that terms are matter, now need to relax a little bit. Terms doesn't really matter. So that's at least I can feel that we are here, which maybe just pop up in like a dream. It doesn't really need long chain of our parents to hear. It's just pop up. And so Garchen was telling us that you don't need to think about something start many, many years ago. And confusion start way before our parents born or something. He's saying, everything's happened now. Especially when we go to deep sleep, we don't remember things. If you don't have dream, means you are retrieving or dissolving into this primordial ground. And as soon as you wake up, your concept or nam-talks are proliferating. That is that kind of what the oscillation I sometimes use. If you know that term, oscillation means proliferating and dissolving, proliferating and dissolving. It's same place. This place has no foundation, which is primordial ground. And if you can handle that, means you are Dzogchen practitioner. If not, then we need to think something else. Then we create a karma, and we come to samsara and many life, and then habitual tendencies are kind of big burner of who we are, and we act like this because of in the previous karma we did this, and now I have a lot of enemies because they hate me in the past life, and now I need to hate back to them. No, not that direction, but the other opposite way to resolve the problem. That is, I think, what Garchen Rinpoche was telling, that need to think about the moment. You don't need to think back. Unknown time, unknown wisdom arise, unknown ignorance cause us. We are, right now, we are just product of the creation and so forth. So that is, our questions are finished. Our time's also limited. So tomorrow maybe. How about that? Yeah. I request, but he didn't think so. So we see.
Okay, yeah, just requesting for the loan, but yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
And other question you can put in the box
tomorrow
near the
we
entrance.
can.
Sorry.
And that is we can conclude here. And maybe Elizabeth, you want to say something? I can go. Okay, so nam de tamje zba nye dobne nye pe jiga nanji ba
Page 13. By this merit may I attain omniscience, having defeated the enemies my wrongdoings. May I liberate all beings who are tossed in the ocean of samsara by the waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death.
Okay, thank you so much.
Alrighty, folks, just a few announcements this evening.